offering. I love the honesty, Ty. Thank you so much for saying that. So awesome. Guys, you are amazing. Thank you so much and welcome again to TechSoup. This is a new member orientation. Many of you already put in chat how long you've been a member here. Some new and some been here for a while. Either way, we welcome you to be here. If you've been on our webinars, you already know how to participate. But if you're new to the webinars, this is being recorded. You're going to get the slides with the hyperlink on them probably later today or early in the morning. If you need the closed caption, just tap on the CC button. There's going to be a survey that's going to pop up. Two questions. We would love if you would let us know what else you'd like to hear. I'm the webinar producer here. My name is Aretha Simons. I'm going to move out of the way and turn this over to my colleagues, Nick, Kelly, and Amari. Have a great webinar, you guys, and thank you for all that you do.
Hi, everybody. My name is Nick Finn, and I'm afraid awkwardly today, the USB 2.0 little camera that I use with these webinars has finally found a driver that will not work with it. So today I'm just a disembodied voice with you, but hopefully it makes it easier to just focus on the slides here that we're sharing with you today to understand more about what TechSoup is and how we can help your nonprofit work with technology. You've already met my colleague Aretha Simons. As I said, my name is Nick Finn. You're also joined today by Kelly Garrett and Amari Magaha, who is helping folks in chat with questions they might have about specific TechSoup offers or other items of technology interest to your nonprofit. Let's get rolling with the first real question here. What exactly is TechSoup? Well, like most of the folks on this call, we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We have more than 400,000 nonprofit members who've worked with us on technology issues in the recent past. Our entire mission is to support other nonprofits who are working with technology to help build an equitable planet. We have a perspective and believe that technology can be extremely powerful and in the right hands can really make a difference in our communities. And we believe that civil society and nonprofits are the people doing that work. We host the world's best known catalog of tech product offers just for nonprofits. It includes major brands like Microsoft, Dell, Intuit, Adobe, and many, many more. We'll talk about a few just shortly here. Um, we also offer add-on technology services to help nonprofits manage your tech stack. One thing that we've learned over the years of serving the sector, and which we've done for almost 30 years at this point, is that acquiring a technology product itself does not necessarily end your journey. In fact, it begins the process because now you have a whole new set of responsibilities to think about onboarding staff, training people to use tools, making sure you're choosing the right licenses, that your nonprofit is thinking about issues like cybersecurity or governance, digital governance. And so there are a lot of different elements of technology that require more than just thinking about products, but in fact, services to help you manage those products. We create courses, webinars, and training for nonprofit staff around all sorts of different technology issues. And that can be straight up helpful tips and hints of how to use a particular product, or much bigger issues like combating digital disinformation online, right? And we create grant-based programming around issues like digital resilience, online disinformation, and cybersecurity. So, as I said at the start, we are very much like you. We are a nonprofit with a mission, and what we think about every day is how can we execute on that mission? In other words, how can we help you? So, how does it work? Well, first, your nonprofit needs to join TechSoup by creating an account and submitting some tax documentation. This is critical because that's how we know that you're a legitimate nonprofit and you should have access to the offers in the catalog that TechSoup hosts, right? Once you've joined TechSoup by creating that account, you'll need to choose a membership level, and you have three options at the moment. There's a DIY option, which is a zero cost option that basically lets you simply use the catalog. What I actually want to steer your attention to most, though, is Quad, which is our newest membership level and the newest piece of the TechSoup ecosystem. It's online community for nonprofits working with technology. And at $200 a year per nonprofit, it is an excellent investment in making sure that your nonprofit is using technology wisely and getting the help and support that you deserve and need. Once you've been validated, and that usually is within 2 days, you can begin using the catalog of offers, services, and resources for nonprofits. But yeah, to be clear, this is not just an individual personal account you're setting up with TechSoup to work with the catalog. It is an organizational account attached to the nonprofit itself. So, how do you join? Well, you've probably been to the site by now. I would expect so. We've come to this webinar, so TechSoup has been something you've been thinking about. If you've not already joined TechSoup, top right corner, there's the login and join buttons. Just click that join button and follow the path it takes you down. You'll have to submit a little bit of documentation, but it's a pretty simple, easy, quick process. So as I said, the two membership levels available to you are DIY, and really Quad is the place to focus attention here. DIY, there's no cost to join. And it's really intended for organizations that can manage with very little technology need and without much advice, right? And so they get access to the catalog and to some of the grant-funded content from TechSoup. But we also know that nonprofits typically actually need a lot of help when it comes to managing technology. That's where Quad really is probably the greatest value at TechSoup. With Quad, you have a membership that really gives you access to the full online and human suite of services and advice from TechSoup that can really help you manage your tech stack. You're going to get exposure to experts in fields so important in the modern age of AI now to understand, for instance, how AI impacts nonprofits. Those are the kinds of discussions you're going to hear about in Quad. And it's also a peer-to-peer community, so it's the opportunity for nonprofits working with technology to actually talk to each other. Perhaps you share a common mission area, for instance, addressing food security in your community. Nonprofits already do a lot of work networking with each other and talking to each other to understand what's working and what's not working. And this is an environment in which you can do that with a particular focus on how technology is or is not working for your nonprofit and how other folks have struggled with similar issues. Right. So let's talk now about how you can think about accessing the offers on TechSoup.org. So here we are back again with a screenshot of the main site. And we start with the top nav, which is the products. And the first thing I want to talk about is Microsoft, who are one of TechSoup's oldest partners, serving nonprofits for decades now, together in partnership. And of course, Microsoft's offers for the sectors have evolved a lot over the years. 3 decades ago, TechSoup was literally in the business of like handing out extra CD-ROMs to local nonprofits who needed a copy of Microsoft Office. Of course, all of it's cloud-based today. Um, but there are some cool things from Microsoft that are available in the TechSoup catalog. So I'm just clicking through to the live site now. This is going to do a little human verification there. And here we are at the Microsoft for Nonprofits program at TechSoup.org. First thing I want to call out is we do have Microsoft Copilot, the standalone product, at $306 a year for that. I use Copilot pretty daily. I know there's lots of other options out there, but this is what's available through TechSoup. Probably the most popular and important thing, though, for nonprofits is really the Office 365 and Microsoft 365 offers here. And those are available through TechSoup at a variety of different license levels. And this is one of the great places where we can be helpful because we can guide nonprofits and make sure that you're choosing the right license, not choosing something that is not what you necessarily need and paying more than what you need to be paying. There are other Microsoft offers available depending on the depth and technical needs of your nonprofit. This includes access to Azure and Windows Server products and SQL products. And if you are running a computer lab in particular, there are also specific donation products available for computer labs through the Microsoft program at TechSoup. Anyway, Microsoft is, of course, one of the most popular things at TechSoup, but certainly not the only thing. Um, Adobe has been working with TechSoup for many years, and currently the Adobe offer at TechSoup is Creative Cloud, which from a communications perspective is pretty popular, well-known tool. It's got all those web design, Dreamweaver, Premiere Pro, Illustrator, Photoshop, etc. If you're a designer or a comms person on this call, it's probably almost for certain that you've worked with some of these tools. They are available through TechSoup as well. Intuit QuickBooks is a perennial favorite amongst nonprofits. It took COVID again to remind us why pencil and paper accounting systems just aren't adequate. QuickBooks is, as far as we can tell, the most popular option out there for nonprofits looking for an online cloud-based financial tracking system. And if you're not already using Intuit QuickBooks and you're really thinking about it, this is a great offer to think about TechSoup on. Encourage you to take a look at that as well. And here I'm going to do a quick sidebar into if you were looking at the offer, for instance, on Intuit QuickBooks, like what matters to think about here as you consider this offer, right? Most of the products and services available through TechSoup are non-refundable. So once you've clicked these buttons, you really do want to be certain that what you've done is the thing that you really need. You need to look at the product details area here before you add something to your cart and just make sure that that's consistent with what you want to think about. And then you need to make sure that you just go through these sections on the description, the subscription details, and around rules, eligibility, and restrictions. Kelly's going to talk more about this stuff in a little bit, but it is an important part of making sure that you're choosing products correctly within the TechSoup catalog. Okay. Um, the subscription details tab here in particular is good to know about because it also will disclose around renewals. And that's an important part of these digital products because, in the old days, again, like in the CD-ROM world, you would buy something and that was it. But now it's all subscription. And so renewing subscriptions is something that you do need to think about. Now, a lot of places have thought historically of TechSoup really as a software place, but over years we have really built a pretty robust hardware catalog that help nonprofits save a little bit of money, and also maybe lean their acquisition into some environmentally sound practices, which we'll talk about in a second. It'll take us to the hardware section on the site and just talk here a little bit about what you can find at TechSoup in terms of hardware. There are lots of different categories, and one of the cool things about hardware that I've watched over the years here is that, there's always new things coming to market, and over the years, we've had all sorts of interesting items come through the TechSoup hardware catalog. These days, mobile beacon, 5G hotspot internet things like those are always a perennial favorite. Um, but it's much more diverse than that. We have the relationships with Dell, with HP, with Lenovo to provide their special offers to nonprofits. That's for desktops, laptops, monitors as well. Networking equipment is something a lot of nonprofits acquire through TechSoup. Cisco and Cisco Meraki are the two leaders there really these days in terms of what folks are coming for. There's other hardware elements here too, cameras and sensors. Printers are available through TechSoup. Even those small pieces of office equipment, like what I was describing earlier, that USB 2.0 camera that you need to replace, those kinds of things, right? And then in the past few years, here at the bottom, we have had access a few times now to, VR headsets through Meta. And there are some nonprofits out there using these in interesting ways around educational and training opportunities. But it is not a obvious thing that folks think of when they think of the TechSoup catalog. So that's why I'm calling it out here. Right. So on from hardware. Now, as I said earlier, one of the things that we've really learned over the decades of serving the nonprofit sector is that a product is not the solution. And in fact, nonprofits need help managing the products themselves and how all the products work together. And out of that has grown a robust set of what we generally call TechSoup services. And I'm going to talk a little bit about those and how those might be helpful to your nonprofit. Right off the top, these are the ones that seem to be most popular with nonprofits. Managed IT is a big relationship that you enter into with a managed IT firm that we work with. And their name is Tech Impact, and they have many years serving nonprofits as well. And what they do is basically help you manage your entire tech stack. So, most nonprofits really can't afford to have a full-time IT director or person in charge of all technology, right? A chief technology officer, as a corporation might have. Managed IT is a way that you can get like a big chunk of that help from outside rather than having to figure out how to manage it all inside. Help desk is sort of the counterpoint to that, which is small one-off incidents where you maybe need specific help with one computer that seems, to be having an issue of some kind. Obviously, lots of the time it could be a cybersecurity problem. Help desk is like how you can solve one-off problems like that. Um, we definitely provide great services to Microsoft 365 users who get their Microsoft 365 licenses through TechSoup, helping you configure your licenses and, again, like choose the right ones, make sure that your Microsoft backends is configured correctly and everything's working properly. Maybe there's some data migration that needs to happen if you're moving to an updated system, that kind of stuff. Over the years, for sure, you can see very strongly within nonprofits that, communications, digital communications, and marketing are huge users of technology within nonprofits. And so we have a number of different services around that, which we offer with our partner Tap Network. And these are places where you can engage with, it's still a paid service, but get some real help figuring out what to do with your website, how to make your marketing better, or if you're really in the minute going through the process of thinking through what's your AI use policy going to be and what are your options to use AI at a nonprofit, that can be wrapped up into that service as well. We do offer a QuickBooks migration service, which helps you bring your data from an older edition of QuickBooks into the new QuickBooks Online platform. And there are a number of other services. I'm just going to click right here through to the live site just to give a quick illustration here of what's available. Um, this list keeps growing and growing, which is exciting. But you might want to page through here and just scroll through and take a look at any of these services that might be of interest to your nonprofit, including new 990 easy filing services. These are the AI services that I was mentioning earlier. Um, if you're working with a customer relationship management database, a CRM, maybe you don't know a lot about how to set up a CRM. It can be a complex process. And if you need some experienced support in how to set up your CRM, we can help with that. We do a lot of stuff with nonprofits around cybersecurity services as well. And I should have called out earlier in the digital marketing frame, the social media is very much part of that group of services. In any case, the point really being here that there are a lot of different ways nonprofits need support with technology. And I invite you to take a look at that live site, see if there's anything in there that's actually going to support you in your use adoption and optimization of however you're using tech. Right. So that's an overview of what's available to TechSoup membership. But now I'm going to ask Kelly Garrett to step forward here. She's an associate manager at TechSoup, and Kelly works directly hands-on with lots of nonprofits every single day, and she's going to tell us some more about what to think about as we use the TechSoup catalog of goods and services here.
everybody. Thanks so much for joining us today. Thank you, Nick, for introducing me. As you said, my name is Kelly Garrett, Associate Manager for the Customer Service Department here at TechSoup. We also refer to ourselves as Client Services, so you might see both terms used in your travels around our website. Next slide, please, Nick. Perfect. So what I wanted to go over with everybody today is how do you get support? How do you contact TechSoup customer service? How do you self-serve with, support resources? And there's a couple different options that we have on our website. Just a reminder too, as Nick kind of mentioned, customer service at TechSoup is for supporting you with account management, login issues, basic, questions about products or installation things. We're not IT trained, so we can assist you with the information that has been provided to us by our partners. So like Intuit provides us information about QuickBooks Online. Microsoft provides us information about an Office installation. And so we will have information and resources to share with you. But there is going to be some situations where you might want to consider a TechSoup service or go to the partner directly since it's something on their system that they need to do for you. Things along those lines. So today with my presentation, I'm going to show you how to support and then also how you can connect with us. So on the TechSoup website for www.techsoup.org, there's two places you can go to get started with getting help. The first is in the top right corner. There should always be that banner at the very top of the website, and it should have that help option next to where you log in. If you are logged in already, you will see a little circle with a outline of a person icon, and that indicates that you are logged into the website. There's a couple different options on there. Forums, which I'll go over it a little bit later, TechSoup support, articles and how-to, and consultant connection. Forums is where our members can go and post in the community, talk amongst yourselves, share resources, things like that. TechSoup support is where I recommend a lot of folks go to start trying to find answers to your questions. It is our kept up to date, fresh how-to articles. We do have some in this other section, articles and how-tos. Those are usually a little bit more the how-to articles are definitely good resources, and it's something we do post to quite a bit. I would say TechSoup support has more kind of everyday information, where the articles and how-to have kind of more larger topics, bigger themes, things along those lines. It's kind of like, hey, there's so many products out there with Adobe. Which one do I pick? Whereas a TechSoup support's going to be, hey, I got an Adobe product. How do I install it? So I recommend everybody check out TechSoup support. Great resource. A lot of questions are answered. And if you go to the help bubble at the bottom here, that is also connected to TechSoup support. So if you type in a question with that help bubble, it should pull up information that is linked already on our website, and you'll be able to information and resources. Next slide, please. Perfect. So using that help bubble where it will link you to different articles or going into TechSoup support from the drop-down menu, you will be taken to our landing page here for TechSoup support. This is where you can search things, and then we have articles broken up into three different topics. We have product support, Microsoft support, and general support. Beneath those sections, you will see promoted articles. These will show you the ones that we've promoted, that we know that members ask a lot of questions about. This is a good place to kind of scroll through, just see what's out there. Might answer some questions you didn't even realize you had. But this is a great place to start and go and start searching for support. The help bubble is still available on the support.techsoup.org page, so you can search through there as well. Or if you can't find the answer, this is where you're going to be connecting to a TechSoup customer service representative. Next slide, please. So how do you contact TechSoup customer service? We do have two TechSoup support articles that go over these the process. So how do you connect with us? Is you click on that help bubble at the bottom of the page, and it's going to greet you with an AI greeting. It is a bot at first that's just trying to help you self-serve. If you type in different phrases, which I'll show on the next slide in just a second, but you say agent, customer service, something along those lines, it will give you the option to connect with a representative. We do have real people working our live chat. So once you move into the live chat mode out of the AI help support, you will be connected with a real person. If you're having trouble accessing the chat, we do have a TechSoup support article that goes over all the troubleshooting for that. Typically, when someone's having issues connecting with us, it has to do with your browser settings. You do want to make sure that you're accepting all of our cookies, that you don't have any pop-up blockers or ad blockers turned on for our website. It's usually a security feature that blocks that help bubble from popping up. And you want to make sure that you've got everything accepted and our website isn't getting blocked in any place. That's almost always what the issue is when I work with members that say they don't see the help bubble. You want to make sure you're going through and approving any pop-up windows, cookies, all that stuff to make sure that your browser isn't blocking it. Next slide, please. So when you do go into the help bubble and you're ready to talk to a client services representative, you weren't able to find the information, you have an issue that needs to be addressed by TechSoup, things along those lines, we can absolutely assist you during our hours of operation. We are usually open Monday through Friday, and we open at 7 a.m. every day those days. On Fridays, we do close early at 12:30 p.m. And the other days we close at 3:30 p.m. So just something to keep in mind, we are located on the West Coast, so we are Pacific time, so sometimes those hours of operations can also, if you're a different part of the country or in a territory or something along those lines, sometimes it's the hour of the operations that might be causing the issue too. So I always recommend checking our TechSoup support articles. We have the hours of operation listed, upcoming closures, such as Thanksgiving's coming up. We always have a holiday break, things along those lines that you want to check when you're trying to connect with us. When you do go into the help bubble and start the chat, you do want to make sure that you're putting in one of the terms, the contact us form. This is just a couple of them. There's a larger list in the TechSoup support articles that you can go to and check, but contact, agent, customer service, customer agent, anything along those lines will pull up the option to connect with a representative. And when you do connect, you want to make sure you're providing your name and the best email address to contact you at in case we need to follow up with anything. Also, your chat transcript with our representative will be emailed to you after you talk to them so that you can reference back to it for links they provided, information they gave you, things along those lines. So you will get a copy of it. So you do want to make sure it is an email address you have access to. And then we can always go from there with getting you more information as needed. And we also always ask, please give us a name so we can address you properly. And we can also check if you're an agent on the organization's TechSoup account. That's always helpful for us to have as well. Perfect. Next slide, please. So say you are unable to get through the chat. You've tried all of the troubleshooting that we've offered. You've done all 12 steps of it. You've made sure the website's working correctly. You still can't seem to get it to work. We do have a backup option. And it, as I mentioned earlier in my presentation, it's called the TechSoup Community Forums. Myself and some other client services, customer service representatives do keep an eye on this. It can take us up to 5 business days to address posts, but we will get to it eventually. So if you ever feel like you can't get through, or you have any questions that you want to kind of see if anybody else has asked before, click on that forums, which is the first from the help drop down menu, and it will take you to our landing page. You will have to sign in. It's at the top right corner there. If you are signed in, it will be that little circle icon again. That's my icon picture, so that's why it has that little S there. But you can put any picture you want. It's sometimes just an initial, but it is connected to your TechSoup account. So if you do post on there, we will be able to find your member account and then be able to reach out by email, or we might be able to just respond just in the forums post, which you should get a notification of. You'll see here we have featured topics promoted at the top. This includes, how do I contact customer service, using the associate code. You do have to get approved to post in the forums. It's just a spam and phishing protection thing that we do. So you will post there, it will get approved, and then you'll get a response within a couple business days. if it's something that you're asking for support. You might just want to go in, introduce yourself to the community, connect with some other folks that are out there. It's a great way to get in touch with other nonprofits, see what other folks are talking about. And you'll see underneath category here, there's a list of different things that you can go through and post to. TechSoup program help is where you'll want to post to if you are unable, if you're looking for support. That's where client services, customer service, we go in and we check there first just to make sure we're not missing anybody that's saying they need someone to reach out to them or they have a general question, et cetera, et cetera. So great option for connecting with other nonprofits, connecting with TechSoup customer service if we're having issues with chat. Just again, it's not the fastest way to get in touch with us. Chat's always the best option. We've always got people available during our hours of operations. And if there is any errors going on with the website, with the chat or anything like that, we will post it on our forums and we will post it in those TechSoup support articles. So highly recommend going and reviewing all that if you've been having trouble getting connected with us. And again, this forums is a nice option if you're still unable to connect. Perfect. And I believe that is my last slide here. So just want to say thank you to everybody who attended. We look forward to working with you and go nonprofits.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Thank you, Kelly. We really appreciate everybody's time today. We all know that working in the nonprofit sector is not the easiest thing all the time, but we do it because we think it's a way to have impact and to create meaningful change in our communities in lots of different ways. The nonprofit sector is very, very diverse. I know that it's been tough for some folks specifically this year. And so I just want to say thank you for the work that you do in your communities, whatever the cause, whatever the mission is that you're working on. We appreciate you making the effort to make a difference. You will get a copy of this presentation in email. It does have live links in it. You should be able to follow those to anywhere on the site that you want. But really, you could just go to TechSoup.org right now yourself and probably search around and pretty quickly find the things that are most important or helpful to your nonprofit. I'm Nick Finn. Thanks so much for your time today and appreciate you.